I did do a marathon, yeah. I did one marathon, I did a duathlon, I did a triathlon, and I did a criterium right here on campus. Yeah, so I did 4 different races, 4 different types.
Where were those at?
The marathon was in Spokane, the tri was in right outside of Coeur d'Alene, criterium was right here, and then the duathlon was over in Montana.
Did you win?
No. I finished all. That was a win for me.
Okay.
Isn't that something maybe you show your athletes and you say, hey, if I can do it, there's really no excuse for you guys not to do it?
Well, I think they all know this, that I work hard at what I do, and I don't always I don't win every Saturday, but I do try to win, and I give it my best, and I try to train at odd hours just to get it in. I don't let my fun get in the way of my job. They know my job comes first, and I always emphasize those things to them.
What have you seen out of the new receivers on camp? Kalen Hightower.
Well, Kalen's not new, as you know. He was here all spring and all summer. He feels now more like a vet to me. He knows the offense. He knows what to do. He's more confident, and he's thinking less. And I think even in the last 2 practices, he's starting to make more plays.
Is that why he's just standing out more, just because he's got a bit of more knowledge?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, and his technique is better. His endurance is better. He's able to maintain his intensity throughout the duration of a practice now. He's just a better football player than he was, 6 months ago, and he should be.
What's Dave doing better to, become a better receiver?
He caught the ball well, but he didn't always catch it with his hands last year. So if the ball was outside of his frame, he had a hard time making some of those plays. He's really improved his craft and has become much more of a hands catcher, which is the mark of really an excellent receiver. And I think his hands right now are about as good as anybody we have.
With your group, is that gap kind of getting smaller between like Desmond and maybe the rest of the field?
Yeah, and that's just because I think everybody's gotten better. Our guys that were here, our top 6 or 7 guys right now, are really kind of grouped together, and we have a lot of time yet for the top 3 to rise to the top. But hopefully, we'll have a nice rotation and be able to play a number of guys in the fall.
Specifically looking at Jacob, and actually today it looked like Jacob had a good day today. What do you see from him in just all of fall camp?
Well, Jacob is got to be the #1 hardest worker on the receiving corps, if not really the whole football team. I would stand up on the table and say there's nobody that works harder than Jacob. He comes to work every day. At times he gets worn down because he goes so hard, play after play after play. He's relentless, takes his reps, is heavily involved in our kicking game. So there's really no rest for him. And we, as you guys can see, we practice fast and we practice hard. And he really manages to sustain his effort for a long period. What Jacob just needs to do, he made some big catches today. Early in camp, he dropped a couple of balls that, quite frankly, I think those are balls that Jacob Sandin should catch. So, I'll be more pleased when he catches all the balls that I think Jacob Sandin should catch, and then maybe catch a few that even wow me.
What are you looking for out of your group tomorrow when you throw the pads on?
Well, I want to make sure that our guys understand that this is a tough game for tough men. So when the pads go on, they've got to ramp up their game. They can't be concerned about getting hit. And sometimes days like tomorrow, some guys will take a step back before they move forward because they will be worried about getting hit. I don't think I have a guy in our group that I'm really concerned about, but obviously every time you put the pads on, you like to make sure that your guys relish the physical aspect of the game.
Is Jermaine Johnson taking a lot of some steps forward here?
He has, and that's interesting that you could observe that because you probably have watched 100 practices and didn't know he was on the team. And now he's sticking out a little bit. Can't tell you where he'll stack up come Ohio, but I know that he wants to play, and he has improved his game.
Mm-hmm.
Good?